Hey guys! Alright, be right back. Gotta do something real quick. My hair's all funky. I've had a late night. I would have started this earlier, but Chloe had me pick up food for her from Subway. She paid for it and had me pick it up and take it to her. And you're sleeping. I'm not gonna bother my mother sleeping. I guess I could do it this way. I gotta change out the blanket. What it go? Wait. I'm gonna leave him alone for now. Yeah, they're sleeping. I don't want to wake them up. I'll wait. All right. It is late. I apologize. Yeah. Like I said, Chloe had me pick up Subway for her. She also needed her apartment keys. Aaron forgot them earlier when he went to Mason, but they didn't get back until after 8. No. It's around 8, something like that. So, yeah. So I took her food and I took her keys, and she gave me $10 for gas and cash because, I do the DoorDash thing, so yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to make this a shorter live tonight. I do have stuff written down for this live tonight. I thought I was gonna do it earlier. Just didn't work out that way. I probably won't go with everything I wrote down. I think what I'm going to do is start with the latest of each one. Probably only going to go with 2 of full spectrum, so here we go, guys. I did get the store open. So the store is open. And our hours, I took pictures of the board. And I will read to you. I do have some stuff I actually have to work on. Our hours, Mondays are 9 to 6. And I'm only going till 6 because of the lives. Tuesday, 9 to 6. Wednesdays, 9 to 5 because of our church class on Wednesdays. That will change until we have like another class. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's 9 to 4 because I have to be at work at 5:30, so. And then Sunday we're closed. We take cash. Cash is first and foremost. 100% cash. And I'm not going to quit using cash. I also will take transactions on Chime and Cash App. I cannot take checks. I will not take checks or do PayPal. And I cannot do credit or debit card transactions right now at this time. So, sorry for the inconvenience. Right now, I'm going to do a rundown of what we have. Okay? Hi, you guys. Somebody popped in and then popped back out. I apologize. doing a rundown of what we got in our store. All right, paintings. I have quite a few paintings for sale. One, my fantasy landscape. I decided not to sell my mountains one, my Cascades mountains one. Oh, that's fun. I'm sorry, Mandy. My fantasy landscape painting, $200. Hey, Erica, how you doing? Oh, I'll be praying about that, Mandy. Um, the fantasy landscape painting is 200. That's a 16 by 20. That's why it's so much. My hint of spring. Well, that's good to hear. You should come out and check out our farm stand store sometime. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm even eating late tonight, so. But we didn't get back until after 9:30. No. Yeah. It was around 9:30, so. All right, my hint of spring. One of the newest ones I. Well, it'd be nice if you did. It'd be nice to see you again. The hint of spring is the 12 by 12 with the blue background and the white flower coming out of the corner with the, like white wind swirl kind of things on it. That was 85. The spring daffodil one on the 11 by 14 flat canvas, that one is 75. The spring in the mountains is 75. I am going to finish that one. I'm going to try to. I want to add like the flowers and stuff in the meadow. I will see if I don't make it to Lansing very often, but I will see what I can do. uh all right, my sunset on Lake Superior is 45. The winter sunset on Lake Huron is 40. The auroras in the Alaskan wilderness painting is 35. Strawberry moon is 25. Mysterious moon is 25. The internal storm 5 by 7 is 5. And my mini landscape is 350 and the mini strawberry is 250. So, and then we have the peppermint charcoal detox soap, $5 a bar. The crocheted dish rags, I have quite a few of those. Those are they come in a roll. There's 2 in a roll, and they're $4. Um, I might just change that to $4. $4 per roll. The crocheted coasters, the one bag is 3 for $2.50, and the other one is 4 for $2. Because the one in it didn't have enough pink yarn to make a 4th one, so. The hand-painted mugs are $5 a piece. I'm going to get the other one protected and then get that out there. The yellow t-shirt, that's $10. The pink shirt, it's moisture wicking fabric. That's 25 because of the fabric, and it was just kind of difficult to paint. I have the orange sweatshirt. I'm gonna get that and get that out there. That's 25 because it's a sweatshirt. The black t-shirt, I've got to go back over that because it's kind of like it looks weird. I gotta fix it. That one's gonna be 20. Eggs, 350 a dozen. So if you're interested in eggs, let me know. And we are going to be getting more chickens, so I'll have more available so people can even order them ahead of time and say, "Hey, I'm coming out. Can I get 2 dozen or 4 dozen or whatever?" I wanna make sure we have them. So, I have a peach jam out there. It's $3. Actually 3.50. Sorry, my eyes weren't working. I have a quart of peaches out there. 1 quart, $5. My home canned peaches. Um, Watermelon rind pickles, and I have more than what's out there. I'm willing to sell some more. I'm gonna be making a whole bunch more, so it's not a big deal. Those are $5 for a pint. And they're really good. Really, 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 really good. If you have not had them, oh my goodness, come on out. I'll do a taste testing thing. You guys can try them. They're so good. I have 2 little painted garden rocks. Okay, they're garden decor. I'm gonna be doing one is a one looks like a strawberry, and the other one looks like a little mouse. And I'm gonna be doing a bunch more painted strawberry rocks. And you can put those in your strawberry beds, and it will literally keep birds from getting your strawberries because they will go after those rocks thinking that they're strawberries, and they'll leave your strawberries alone. And I'm gonna try that for sure. Now, I have, I don't know if you guys can see that. The ones that have the little asterisks by them. Oh yeah, crocheted pot holders. That's another one. Those will be 2 for $7. But the ones that have the little asterisks by them, homemade bread is one of them. Those are some that that I have to make. I got to get another bag of flour. I have enough to make some. I don't know if I have enough to make 4 batches. Because one batch for me makes 2 loaves. Because I normally make 2 loaves. But it's 2 separate bowls. So, but it's $4 a loaf or 2 for $7. I have some pumpkin. I'm going to be making some pumpkin bread. That's $5 for a regular size loaf and $3 for a smaller one. Because I have these smaller loaf pans, and I usually end up, because my recipe makes 3 loaves, and the third one's usually a smaller loaf. So, cleaning wipes. My homemade cleaning wipes. It's a set of 3 for $15. And well worth the money. And they're reusable. You can wash them, put them back in there. And, I'll even throw in the recipe for you. Or you can come back and get more. I mean, it would be a long time down the road because it lasts a long time. So, one of the jars, they're little quarter size ones. One is half, and the other are full size. So, but I have to make those still. Cutting boards. I'm gonna get a couple of those. Yeah, sure, I can do that. Let me know when you would like it, and I'll make it. And how much you'd want. Because, like I said, my recipe makes 3 loaves. I'm gonna see if I can get 2 of the cutting boards and get those painted. And okay, let me know. Uh, those are I lowered the price on those because I want things to be affordable. So the cutting boards are gonna be $20 instead of 35 or 40. So the handmade planters, those are gonna be out of the wood blocks I've talked about. I have screws that I can use. I just need to dig out the blocks and throw them together, and I'll probably do kind of like the burned wood effect on it, and then I might even like go ahead and like oil it down to make it to where it's protected. And those are going to be $25. And I'm going to try to have a couple of those out. I have one sweatshirt jacket that I'm going to paint with a Faith First Farm and Homestead, and that's going to be $25. Sweatshirt jackets are not going to be less than that. The homemade laundry detergent. I have another 2-gallon bucket. I have to find it. I don't know where it is. I did figure out price-wise, I'm gonna have to charge $35 for that. But a 2-gallon bucket will last quite a while. You figure a gallon is 128 ounces. So we're talking 256 ounces. And it only takes a little scoop like this big around and about that deep. So about 1/8 of a cup per load. Your bigger loads you could use 2, but I mean still it's going to last quite a while, so. And then small candy boxes, I will get them put together. $5. And they're probably going to be like, square boxes. $5. Now, order forms. I'm going to have to create those tonight. I'll create them tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to have order forms out there. So we'll eventually be on my website. I have to get Webador paid up. It's like $21 or something. Things have just been really weird, especially with trying to get the property taxes paid before the end of the month, which we did do. So praise. That was awesome. We got that done. We don't have to worry about that anymore. But I will have order forms on my website for you guys to go to and fill out through my website. Now, you could email me if you wanted to. I will also put this in the description for this. What did I do? Whoops. Why do I keep doing that? Okay, so you can email me for like any of the stuff that you would like. Plus, once I get the website done, I will let you guys know when I get them done. And they're, really not you? No. I got food up here. Go. No. I got food up here. I love you, but no. All right, so the order form items. Blackberry bushes. Because I have to cut the canes. I have to root them out. Plant them in a pot of soil. And get them to grow to like this. That's why they have to be on. That's why it's an order form item. The blackberry, black raspberry, boysenberry, the bushes, And I will grow out some elderberry bushes like that and sell them. All of the bushes that I grow up to be like at least 12 inches to put in the farm store, they will be $15 a piece. Now, what I will have, I say will because I don't yet. What I will have is blackberry, black raspberry. I will do that with elderberry. And elderberry is so healthy for so many things. We'll talk about that tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be able to get away with making this a shorter live. And boysenberry. Okay, so blackberry, black raspberry, elderberry, and boysenberry. So 4 different ones. I don't have any other bushes to grow out for you guys. Not yet. Not yet. God willing, if he gives us enough time, I will get all of the fruit bushes that we want. All right, so those are the bushes. The elderberry, I will have cuttings. And if you guys want these, you have to let me know ASAP. The elderberry cuttings. 5. I mean, the cuttings are going to be about that long. So about 10 inches. Okay? 5 for $12, which is very reasonable because on Amazon, I think it's like shoot, now you're paying over $20 for 5 of them, 5 or 6. So $12 is pretty reasonable for those. Or I'll do 15 if you want 15. Wait, I skipped a number. Ooh. Okay. 5 for 12, 10 for $20. I will do 15 if you want. It's Aaron, what's up?
You're good.
So? Why? Sorry, guys. Anyway, I would do 15 for probably 25. But 10 or 15, like, that's an orchard. Okay? That's 10. I consider 10 an orchard start. 15, that's a lot. Okay? 20, you would have to let me know, like, way ahead of time. I don't know. I can't say that we won't end up with 20 of them. Okay? But I'm also going to be making a lot of things and putting things up for sale and that kind of thing in the store. So, I mean, that warrants that. But if you wanted 20, I would say probably 35 for 20. Yeah. 30 or 35 cuz I would do 15 for 25. So if you wanted 20, I would do that. I'd 30 for that. I don't even have that one written down, but that one's kind of yeah. I figure most people will ask for like 5 or 10 of them. So all right. Strawberry plants. One of my strawberry beds, which I've shown you guys on videos, has a lot of runners in it. I'm going to be taking those runners and putting them into individual pots and putting those, once they get growing in the pots, they're going up for sale in the store. $2 a piece. $2. You got a strawberry plant. You want 10 of them? I mean, $20, you got 10 strawberry plants. So, pineberry. I got to work with those a little bit more. Those are the white strawberries, okay? I have not even had them yet. I want to order them from Imperfect Foods. I've thought about getting them from Meyer, but I don't know if they're like full of chemicals and whatever. But I'm going to try to get them from Imperfect Foods. But those are going to be $5 a piece because they do the runners as well. And I need to get my bed full that I have them in. Gotta do something about the weeds in there somehow. I'm probably just gonna have to get a bunch of straw and like mulch with straw and stuff. But once I get those runners established in individual pots, those are gonna be $5 a piece. No, I'm sorry, $3. I changed that. So the regular strawberry plants are going to be $2 a piece, and the pineberry will be $3. And I will make sure I write on the pots what they are. So, and I'll have those set in a separate area, and $3 on whatever they're in. The Faith First cookbooks. I will start taking pre-orders for those. I do have drinks over here. Anyway, $15. Now, I will keep a running tally of who's paid for a cookbook, And actually, if I can get 100 orders for the cookbooks, you'll be the first 100 people that'll get them. Okay, $15. And I'll order them. Because actually, I'm only going to throw in a few more recipes and that's it. So, the Homestead Binder, Planner, and Journal. I'm still working on that. It's going to be a minute. But I will take orders. If you want to prepay for it, that's up to you. You don't have to. Because I can't give you a date as to when they're going to be done. Because I have to finish setting it up and then get with Aaron and have him help me get it printed out. So that's going to be a minute. The printed out version of the Homestead Binder, Planner, and Journal is $125. The only reason is because of the ink in printing it out. Paper's not really a big deal. If you wanted it on colored paper, I'd probably have to charge like $135. Because the ink is going to be, now it's probably going to cost me around $85 for 2 ink cartridges. And then, yeah. But just regular white paper, $125. We have to make something off from it, And I don't know how many I'm going to be able to print off out of just one set of ink cartridges. So, now, the off-grid stove kit. This is also an order form item. That is the 15 cinder blocks, the piece of metal for the top, which I have not figured out what to buy for that, and the metal grate that goes in between the blocks to set the wood on. I will take orders for those. And yes, I'm going to say prepay for them. Because you prepay for them, I can go and get the materials, get them, and contact you and be like, hey, your off-grid stove kit is here. The do-it-yourself off-grid washer. Um, it's gonna be $100. I don't know how much all the materials are gonna cost. I don't know if it's gonna cost me more than that or not. If it does, then I don't make anything off of it. Move.
I'll get it.
Scott, you've got to set that just right.
Just hit something.
Damn it. This is why I wanted to do it. What did you hit?
Just something on top, accidentally with my finger. Move, Nebula. Move. Change the station.
Yeah, I think so.
The sun which focuses on
Hopefully that's it. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know how much it's gonna cost for Erica says hi. She's on here.
Cool.
Um he says hi. I have
Hi, Erica.
one thing out here that I could use for it because I was gonna make it first for us to see how much it costs. So we'll have to go from there, and I'll have to let you guys know on that. But if you want one, add it to the order form. So I'm gonna have to send this back down. Oh, please. All right. Anyway. So that's the order form items. There's probably going to be more added to that as time goes on. But again, with the cookbooks, please let me know. Like, the cookbooks, definitely a prepay for those thing, $15 if you would like one. I have made sure that all of our family recipes that I have are in the cookbook. I even got some from Elaine. There's a lot of mom's recipes in it. There are a lot of Linda's recipes in it. There's even one of Erin's in it. There's some of Chloe's in it. Some of my grandma's recipes in it.
My grandma too.
What?
I don't remember. I don't remember, but I gave you something from her.
There's a whole bunch of family recipes in it, so definitely well worth the $15. So just let me know and we'll work out payment. And as soon as I have the money to order them, I will. So anyway, so on to our I'm gonna say, did this kick me off from here? Of course. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to please be careful. Subscriptions. And I'm gonna do probably just 2 of those. Emergency alert. Okay, that was the one that he did last night.
All right, everybody,
Yeah.
All right, everybody, I've got
So here we go.
red alert here for you. I wanted to talk to you about sleeper cells. There's a lot of discussion in
Can't really
US
see
government
much.
right now
I
that
apologize for
cells
that.
have been activated across
I'm
the
not gonna be
States
doing
of
too
America,
many.
and that major metropolitan areas.
All right, see ya, Erica.
will soon be
We have a
under-
homesteading live conference going on tomorrow during the day, so if you can, hit us up.
the world, all the way across into the Middle East. We have the threats from Iran. They say that every
Ouch, ouch,
civilian
ouch.
should stay away from law enforcement and away from any sort of military activity. That every position of US government across the world is under threat right now. Now, we have seen the activated cells across our country, and what I'm watching out for is a couple of different things: Discord, game communication, and of course, the encrypted data that is going out over shortwave to the cells operating in the USA. Now, one of the intelligence operatives that we have spoken to says that the encrypted information that Iran sent out over shortwave radio, the people that are operating inside of our country basically sit with that radio on alert 24 hours a day, max volume, just waiting to be activated by the Iranian government or by some sort of proxy element. Now,
Really?
once that
You're gonna
took
hurt
place, and
yourself.
it did, what,
Stop
2
it.
weeks ago? That meant from that point forward,
Hatchets.
anytime throughout the rest of this entire year, we could be looking at a time in our country where attacks could take place. It was within days that we started to see
Hey.
these attacks happen across our country, from synagogues and different religious sites being attacked here in America to the most recent attack in Derby, in which you saw
I had
a
an Uber
vehicle
come
put over
across
a group
that
of
would have had
people.
me going to Onondaga
Vehicle
Pizza
attacks are on
Company
high alert because
and then going out to Eaton
don't
Rapids
let
on
a
Barnes
vehicle
Road.
from somebody else and drive it through a crowd of individuals. These are not
The money
targeted
would have been
attacks.
worth
What they're
it, but
going after usually is just people. The
I couldn't do it.
meaning of these cellular elements,
I didn't have time.
cell elements inside of our country, is to sow chaos and fear and distrust in government. Now, I don't know about you, but I've lived in this country for a couple of years, and I have seen distrust and fear of government be pretty much at the top of the level. Almost nobody out here looks at government and says, you know what, I think you can keep me safe. We have a full understanding that the elements of law enforcement will only come after the fact. We have a full understanding that we live in a very well-armed population. And we also have a very good understanding that this is a world that has been divided into us versus them. Even while the government works to divide us, make us hate each other, they still live on another plateau. They live under the constant security of very well-armed, usually ex-military, ex-special forces, security apparatus. And these groups keep the senators and the Congress people safe. And then at the lower level, every mayor, every local politician, when the police are called to come and help them, they will drop what they are doing, including protecting you, to go make sure that that political leadership is kept intact. Now, continuity of government across our country is a major issue. I believe that we are about to see something very dangerous happen. This all started when President Donald Trump had an attempted assassination. When they tried to take him out, it was pretty much balls to the wall, full go from that point until now. That is what, according to some, ignited the war in the Middle East. Now, with Israel's coordination and what has happened in the last couple of days, it is evident that Iran will stop at nothing to make sure that America pays for what has been done. Now, we have attacked their infrastructure. their economy, their
It's
water,
absolutely
their
biblical,
sewage
though.
treatment plants. So here in the USA, where we have never undergone any sort of wide-scale attack against our
Where my
critical
faith first
infrastructure,
farm.
it looks like that might be next on the agenda.
Made sure this came up with me.
And so right now, it is probably the most important time that you've ever seen to make sure that you have those things in order. Have some lighting if the power goes out, have communication if the cell service goes out, internet goes out, have water stored up. Right behind the camera here, we have multiple 50-gallon drums that we cycle through with water. This could become drinkable water at any moment. It's right out of the well, but it's sitting outside. So what will we do? Well, we'll have to filter it. Probably wouldn't have to, but is it a good idea to? Yes, because I don't want to be dealing with diarrhea and trying to defend my life. So when we are facing this sort of cell environment, it is of the utmost importance that you and your family are considering every move you make. Now here, I have friends and family.
Chicken
We
salad
have a
wrap
great
with
survival.
a piece of
community.
ham in it.
We live in a very small and remote area, and nobody's getting past that gate without the threat of their own harm. But around our country, around our world, we have a lot of family who is suffering, a lot of friends. They're having a hard time with just their everyday life, and that move, making that move to get out, to move to another area,
Maybe he
is
was
very
partially
daunting.
laying
That's
on the
very
playpen.
scary. But I'm telling you to do it.
Wow.
Because
Dog,
me and
I
my
swear.
family, we uprooted everything that we had
Mm.
to go and get somewhere defendable, surveillable, and safe.
She was having fun out in the
You
trailer
have
today.
to find
Yeah.
groups and areas that you can retreat to. Evacuate. That's step one. Evacuation. I lived in a very populated area, over 1 million people in the county. And let me tell you, when things go south in that type of population, you're going to feel the pain. The cells and the reported sectarian groups that are operating inside of our country want one thing: you to convert or you to die. And this hardline stance that is operating right now means that you really have very few choices, because there's going to be
He lives
a
basically
period
out in
of
the
time
wilderness of Alabama.
between now and complete collapse.
He's got it. Him and his,
We're right
like, he's
about
got it
now.
made.
Yeah.
Between now and complete collapse, that means law and order is gone. That means it doesn't matter who's getting murdered on the
But
streets.
he's been
There's
getting ready for
no
probably the
law,
last
there's no
15
recompense
years.
for anybody
Smart.
causing
Unlike
massive
me.
amounts of damage, lighting barns on fire, running people out of their houses, like in Syria. Right now, today in Syria, there are groups of religious zealots who are chasing down Christians, ripping them out of their house, breaking into their shops, stealing all of their goods, stopping them on the streets, and making them either convert or get attacked. So between right now and the end, which is complete collapse of rule of order, rule of law, we're going to have a hard time, because you have to know when to act, how to act. So these sleeper groups that are at operation, they're under operating orders right now inside of our country. They're not going to all act this week, just like they didn't all act last week.
You
What do we
know,
have coming up? Well, we have a major Christian holiday that's coming up. We've already seen some of these cells operating in ways of preparing for this major Christian holiday across the United States. So is that a time that you want to be at a gathering? Well, of course, that's a decision that you'll have to make. But is it a time in small defendable groups? Yes. Is it a time right
Our
now
church is
to
small
tell
enough.
your religious or faith-based leader, hey, yes, of course, the shield of faith should protect you, but you are also given the mindset to protect yourself. In almost every religious text around the world, you're told to pick up the sword. Well, that sword became a projectile, and that projectile now is what could keep you safe. And so if these groups are operating with an understanding that they want to cause violence and cause chaos, you've got to start thinking like them. If you were deep into a country, very well
Lots of cats running
assimilated
around.
into a nation. That means you're a banker, you might be a cop, you're part of the army. Like we just saw that army individual recently, that military service woman who said
Shrub
if she's given an order to attack a person
blueberry
Middle Eastern
with
faith, she will not comply with that order.
the strawberry
Well, that
sparkling
person
water.
is a threat to every other member of that
I'll
group.
go over that tomorrow.
And so the level of
What are you doing,
assimilation
Cap?
of the people who are operating
the
inside
cat
of our
over there.
country, who have a hatred for our country right now,
He's
is very
playing with a
high.
spot on the window,
They'll
or
never
trying to.
consider the banker, the teller, the paramedic, the doctor, but they will
Hey
act
guys,
because they've been told to by their leadership, and they've been told to by their zealousy. So, folks, these groups that are operating inside of our nation right now are probably one of the biggest day-to-day threats that you have to worry about. Yes, we have gas and diesel going absolutely through the roof. It's like $5.40 here to fill up my vehicle.
yes,
And yet
diesel.
we have a coming inflation crisis that's going to make everything that you do cost more. And no, a lot of people are not going to be able to handle it, and we're going to see more houselessness and more violence because of it. But for right now, it's the groups that are operating covertly that will act indiscriminately, and they are ready to act right now. We've had a lot of people on the channel say, well, who should I look out for? What should I look out for? It's not going to be who you think. Let me tell you that. It's going to be the people who were never considered to be a threat. They have fully indoctrinated and trained young women, older women. They have fully trained to act people who you would never consider. And so what you have to do is you have to go back to yourself. What can I keep safe today? Well, today I can keep safe my home, because I have surveillance outside. Today, while driving, I can keep safe my vehicle. I can make sure that I stay at least 4 vehicles away from the vehicle in front of me. When I come up to a stoplight or a stop sign, I can make sure I give a 2 to 3 vehicle width in between me, or breadth in between me and the vehicle in front of me. I can make sure that I stay on the outside lane so that I can always go over the curb and not get boxed in. Okay, now you can keep your vehicle safe. Well, what about your individual? What about yourself? While you're walking through these stores, which are targets, these stores are targets of future attacks. How do you keep yourself safe there? Well, you don't bunch up with the groups. If you're acting and operating as if we're already in a threat environment, your government calls it a wartime footing. Why won't you? So if you're already operating your day-to-day life in this war footing, in this wartime environment, should you really be just walking aimlessly through the store? Yes, you might need a couple of things. And yes, that might be worth it. The risk versus reward. That's how you have to operate your everyday life. But for everyone else, couldn't you do a pickup order? Curbside pickup? Well, some people right now are going to say, well, that's exactly what they want. 15-minute cities, you to lock down, travel as little as possible. And you might be right. But it comes down to what you're doing to operate safely for your family.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, whether you're right or not, or they want lockdowns or they don't,
we're still going to look into
they're not going to
work
pay your
from
bills
home.
if you're dead. They're not going to protect your wife or your children if you're not there. And you also have to operate under this quasi different rule of order, where right now, if you act in defense of yourself, you're probably still going to go to jail tonight. So do you have in your purse or in your wallet the card or the contact information of a local self-defense lawyer? If you don't, you should. And do you know what to say if you do have to act in defense of self because you were in fear of your life? And do you know when to shut up? Because you should. And so you should operate every day right now, just like the government is, just like the FBI is, just like the CIA is, just like local paramedics and fire departments have been told to. We are at war. And so your job is to make sure that your family stays safe.
I'm doing this
Folks, I think
one,
we have a lot to cover in the next couple
and
of days
then
because there's a lot
just
of
the
big things
last one
happening
that he
behind the
did
scenes.
today,
Thank you guys for being here with us and supporting my family.
and
For my
maybe
family,
one
of
other
course,
one.
please
I'm
stay
not
safe.
gonna do a bunch of them
and keep
tonight because
watch.
of the fact that it's late already. Do this one. This was the last one he did
Government
today.
wipe all across the country, but that enriched uranium is the. We have a national emergency that is brewing right before our eyes. I have some Israeli intelligence here that suggests that the U.S. officials preparing for a ground conflict against Iran are saying that they will have enough forces in the next couple of days to make a major ground move become semi-permanent. Now, their goal is to go in and go after the enriched uranium, take out any operatives by special forces inside of Iran, take out political leadership, install local leadership that the United States of America can control, basically do a administration wipe, a local government wipe all across the country, but that enriched uranium is the priority. Now, one of my concerns is that we're also seeing reports that Israel has said if the United States of America engages in anything but a 100% ground invasion, Israel will not be there. They will not take part in this because their cost will be higher than America's cost just because of the amount of people that are engaged in this conflict and what will happen. We opened this war with Donald Trump saying that there will be American casualties. That was on purpose. The reason that the president of the United States of America told the American people that, and then we had a relatively peaceful time where it was lots of missiles, lots of Iranian destruction, lots of other attacks, but few American casualties, was because that is a psychological manipulation technique to get all of the people who would otherwise hate Trump for it to somewhere in their mind say, you know what, he said this was going to happen. And it's kind of like how your government will tell you we're raising taxes next year. They do that because if they just raised taxes without telling you that it was coming next year, people would be completely PO'd. They'd be rioting, tearing down buildings. They'd be doing all sorts of craziness because we're right there on the edge. The American people really can't take much more. And so they have to massage this psychological manipulation into the brainwaves of the American people so that they can continue to operate in a way that the government has to. Right now, we are in a scary time in our country, folks. This is, some people are calling this an Iranian assassination attempt. They say that drone incursions took place near Air Force One. There was also reports that one of our civilian air flights was too close to Air Force One. What I see this is as misinfo and disinfo, but it doesn't mean that they're not trying to take him out. This is reported to be central Tel Aviv inside of Israel after the fallout from the Iranian missile barrage. You see damage, shrapnel, cluster munitions, firefighters responding.
Will you go lay down? Go
Now again,
lay
folks,
down.
the reason I'm showing you this is it is in line with UN's guidelines. We're not showing any casualties of this conflict, but you can certainly see the destruction of what is happening. You can tell that this is very, very far from over. Chaos in the streets. There are riots that are taking place inside of Israel right now. Protests and riots because a lot of the people, just like anywhere in the country, don't want war. But here in the United States of America, I think we understand that we are at a point where we have begun to realize this is a dog-eat-dog world. You only hold what you can take and keep. And if the United States of America did not act in this way, then we would be going in the opposite direction. I'm not
trying to make sure that I
think
can
that's
actually
okay.
do this tomorrow.
But that's my modern
Everybody
kind of like
disappeared.
brain working.
I see how y'all are.
The brain that keeps me alive, the survival brain, lets you understand that this is the way it is. This is our world. You walk into the rough part of town and you don't defend yourself, you're dead. Somebody attacks you in the streets and you say, we really shouldn't act like this as human beings, and you're dead. Your wife's attacked. Your goods are stolen. Your house is burnt down. This is like squatter law on steroids. You either act in defense of life, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, or as a country, you're dead.
Why? That is why President Trump has drawn a new strategic map from Greenland to the Gulf of America to the Panama Canal and its surrounding countries. At the Department of War, we call this strategic map the Greater North America.
That is quite possibly the intelligence that you need to understand the entire picture here. The forest beyond the trees in what Pete Hegseth just told you there. That the President of the United States of America has drawn a map. And this map is understood by the Department of War as the new Greater America. Panama Canal,
I don't know if I
Gulf
brought
of
in my
Mexico.
charger.
Remember, that was a big tool. That was a big change. Gulf of Mexico, now becoming the Gulf of America. Greenland, encircling America in militarily controlled environments.
Why? Because every sovereign nation and territory north of the equator, from Greenland to Ecuador and from Alaska to Guyana, is not part of the global South. We're in this great neighborhood that we all live in. Each one of these countries border either the North Atlantic or the North Pacific. Each one of these countries.
So that's the director of our War Department telling us exactly what is happening.
Alex, veterans of this generation that turn to those on the battlefield right now, and ensure that they have absolutely everything that they need. That there will be debates in that Capitol building. There will be debates all across the nation. But what we know is that we will have the backs of those fighters. We will ensure that they are celebrated, that their sacrifice is honored.
So again, the Department of War is talking about a much bigger, much larger conflict that is coming, a multi-year war.
I don't know why.
This is World War III. We've seen Europe talk about it. We've seen China warn about it. We've seen Russia discuss it. We have seen the Middle East say that it's happening. We have seen India talk about it. World War III began around the time of COVID, and it gave countries the ability to gather their resources, gather plans of sovereignty and national territorial integrity. Some began to nationalize, and some tried to import what will be, they hope, the war fighters of tomorrow. Countries began operating under a wartime footing.
Hey,
you saw this
stop
from
it.
Spain. You saw this from Italy. You saw this from the USA. You saw this from Asian countries, including the Philippines, including Japan. A wartime footing means that that government was preparing their industry, their critical resources and minerals, and ultimately preparing their civilian population that war was coming. And war is here now, folks, and according to our Department of War, it's not going to be over anytime soon. Yesterday, Frontier Airlines flight landed at the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport after a hijacking incident.
This is it right here.
Look forward to this. What blows my
Sorry, guys.
What I just can't understand, maybe you guys can help me understand this. How can you sit with your camera buildings away from watching the missiles drop
All right.
and not be
Have the
evacuating
alcohol.
out
Have the dish
of that
soap. I
area?
have the
It literally makes
essential
my
oil.
eyes twitch. How can you be of such a narrowly survival mindset
I
that
have
you're
the
not getting the
vinegar.
freak out of that area? You don't know that that next missile isn't coming from you. These aren't videos from U.S. operatives that are showing the destruction to send back to CENTCOM and to send back to our president so that they can say, you know what, good job, soldiers. No, these are videos from civilians in war, and they're staying there.
This doesn't call for vinegar.
Well, folks, I am operating on a level
Oh,
that
geez.
I will not, you will not You'll see me on shortwave radio.
Oh,
You'll see
there
me
it
from a cell phone. I won't be in my studio if my area, which is part of my house because this isn't a big operation, you will not see me in some crazy wartime video unless you see me running. And so be prepared to evacuate.
I mean, this is just selfish. Look it up.
There's so much wrong with this video, we have to discuss it. First of all, multiple countries have enacted gasoline station lockdown, so to say. They've stopped certain amounts of gas from being sold. They've told people that you only have certain days and certain license plate numbers that you can fill up on. And so what do people resort to? This woman obviously doesn't understand static electricity. Putting gasoline, putting an explodable fuel, a flammable fuel inside of plastic, inside of the carpet lining of your vehicle is literally asking for it to explode. Do not do this. So now would be a good time for you and your family to get out there and get real jerry cans, get real gasoline canisters. There are things that I'm not going to say on on recording here that you can use in place of that. Basically, follow the plastic that they make these things out of. You can have a reasonable understanding. She even leaves her gas can open. Like, what is going on here? Obviously, this is a culture that has been lied to by their government and told them being prepared is psycho. You're a crazy person if you're a prepper. So they have completely deleted their ability to understand what to do in life. Well, folks, I'm here to tell you here at Full Spectrum Survival, it's go time.
Here we go.
It's time to turn that switch back on your brain, that survival mindset, and be ready. Thank you guys for what you do for us here at Full Spectrum Survival. Please share this video with friends and family on X.com, Facebook,
Okay.
through text and email.
Wait, what?
Type this video if you see the option. And thank you guys for supporting us at patreon.com/Full Spectrum Survival.
Stop it!
And by becoming a YouTube member here. From my family to yours, please stay safe and keep watch.
I haven't seen that one yet. All right, I think I'm just gonna star some of these and bring them over to the next live. I apologize that it's long, it's late. um okay. Oops! Stop it. What are you doing? All right. What I'm doing right now is making sure that I have everything ready for tomorrow. this is. We're gonna be doing not gonna have the glass bottles for them. There we go. I have lemongrass. I have orange. I have lavender. I have eucalyptus. Hold on. If there's any more here. Like I said, I'm just trying to find my cleaning stuff here. So I was gonna make several. My bleach cleaner was one of them. Well, you guys. Okay. Really? There's that one. I think I'm good on the rest of it. All right, so I apologize, you guys. I didn't mean to take quite that long. I know I say that every time. It's a little bit shorter, but not as short as I wanted it. But it is late, and if we're gonna get up early, I'm gonna have to get to bed. So I will see you guys. Hopefully, see you guys 10 a.m. tomorrow. We're gonna be bouncing between the kitchen and the porch because we're gonna do the cleaners. I'm gonna have to figure out how many bottles I need, spray bottles, and how much money I'm going to need for it. So let's go from there. Boots, get out of there. Boots, get out of there. Out. Behave. All right, anyway. So I'll get that figured out. 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And Homesteading Live Conference. And we're going to be discussing like who we are as Faith First Farm and Homestead. If it's not raining, I don't know if I can walk out to the trailer or not. I think what I might do is I'll take my phone out early. I will do a video and let you guys see the trailer, see the store part, and get that uploaded. And I'll do that before 10. Because this, if I ever do a live out there, I'm going to have to use my phone. Because this won't connect to the Wi-Fi out there. So, anyway. We're going to be making some cleaners and some other things. And we're going to be talking about who we are as Faith First Farm and Homestead. What brought us to the, whole homesteading thing, that kind of thing. Gardening. We're going to be talking a lot about gardening. Health. The whys about things, starting your gardens, seeds, how to fight back on things that are going on right now. I'm going to see if we can build 2 small herb beds. If not, we'll save that for a different video. Seeds, greenhouses, tropicals, orchards, fruit bushes. And then homestead animals. What each of them bring to the homestead and help you out with, and feeding and growing their food as well. Sectioning out their gardens and the smokehouses and the whys behind those. And then we're going to touch a little bit on water, like rainwater catchment, hand pumps, that kind of thing. So, and water purification. And I don't know exactly how long it's going to be, but I'm going to be hitting up some decent. What are you doing? You guys better not be doing what I think you're doing there. The bottles. Oh, my back hurts really bad. I gotta get all this stuff taken care of so we can go to bed. Get out of there!
Oh,
What happened? Hey! No! You're naughty. Don't be bouncing off that box like that. What's wrong with you? Alright. So, that's it in a nutshell. I will go out to the trailer tomorrow so you guys do a little video so you guys can see the store and how we're coming at it. But it is open, and I will get those order forms done. I was going to do this tonight. I'm not going to stay up and do that. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning. I'm hoping that a lot of you will make it. So I will see you at the conference. Have a great night. Make sure you keep an eye on your subscriptions. Make sure you're still subscribed. Click on that notification bell. Don't forget to like and share the videos. It helps out the channel. It helps to get the videos out there. Share them on all your platforms with everybody you know, because everybody needs this information. And Just get that information. Yeah. Just to help get the information out there. I'm really tired. Help get the information out there. And do your preps, do your chores, do your research. Get those gardens and homesteads started. And we'll talk a lot more about that tomorrow. And have fun with your family. Make sure it's stuff that you don't need electricity for. Get out of the habit of that. And would you stop it? You guys better quit. Behave. Anyway, and then get some more research done, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow. Have a great night.